going to the guidance counselors with them, it was beyond obvious that they were pushing the kids to go into 4-year traditional college versus a technical school. Now at least you got technicians earning what teachers and doctors make.
Welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. I am Mike Edge, your host, and I have the privilege of interviewing the tire dealers, shop owners, counter sales reps, technicians, industry executives, and other thought leaders of our industry. This episode is brought to you by Tread Partners. Tread Partners is the leading digital marketing agency that specializes in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. Tread Partners works with clients that have hundreds of locations down to 5 locations. Get a professional, unbiased opinion and let Tread Partners review what you're doing. It starts with a simple conversation. To contact Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com. So let's get started. Welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast, the official podcast for tire business. My guest today is Bryan Call, team advisor with Schierl Tire Service with 7 locations throughout central Wisconsin. Bryan, welcome to the Gain Traction Podcast.
Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for inviting me. You got one heck of a list of people that you've interviewed in the past, and I'm proud to be part of that.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, I want to say I don't know if I told you this in our preliminary call, but when I was a kid, we used to go up to Wisconsin during my high school years. My mom had a friend up there, and I had a lot of fun, and I love that state. So, and I'm not saying I'd love it in the winter, but I loved it in the summer.
Oh, it's great having all 4 seasons.
It is. It is. Well, you guys have a really cool story, but before I get to that, tell us a little bit about Bryan Call. How did you get into the business that you're in right now? Well, let me even back up further. Where did you grow up, and what was like something like your first job?
Wisconsin my whole life.
Okay.
First job was a paper route. I did that
Nice.
for a whole way. Then I worked in a grocery store. Did that for about 6 years.
Go back to the paperboy thing, because I think you don't hear that very often now. And you guys were always known as the guys that had the best work ethic. I mean, because you couldn't take a day off.
No, not at all. And if you missed them, boy, the complaints came through.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, you get up at 4 or 5 in the morning, grab your papers, and hit the pavement with your bike.
That's fascinating. And you guys, I used to sub for a guy. I couldn't get the route around me, but it was, once they're taken. But I would sub for a friend of mine, and I just remember he'd have me sub for him on some of those days. It was just blistering cold.
Oh yeah,
you hustled those days,
and then you'd have to go back once a week and collect the money and pay for the papers that you delivered.
Oh, that's such a long, it feels like it's such a long time ago. I guess it's not really, but at the same time.
It was a long time ago.
Things have changed a lot. Well, I didn't mean to digress, but I think you're one of the first people I've had on here that told me they had a paper route growing up. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun.
So you did so you got in the grocery business. Were you a bagger or a sacker or somebody like that?
Stocking the shelves, bagging, checking out at times. There was a time where I was bagging, and this gentleman that was up there in years had a cane, and he started smacking me with the cane because I wasn't going fast enough.
Oh my gosh, no kidding.
Yep.
What did you do?
I wasn't hard, but it just caught me off guard, and let's get you loaded up.
There's some early customer service lessons, right? That's where you learn the lesson. The customer's not always right.
Yeah, but they got to feel like they are.
They do. That's it. That's the key right there. They got to feel like it, even if they're not. So what'd you do after that?
Went to college.
Okay.
That was the thing to do.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for me. I did a year of that and took a gap year, and then went to technical college for automotive repair. Graduated from there and on to my first job, which was a 2-bay gas station, full service, pumping gas and fixing cars.
Nice. Cars were a little simpler back then, huh?
Yeah, it was different. I was back to points and condenser and lots of carburetors. It was fun.
How did you end up over at Schierl?
Uh, met a girl and ended up dating her for quite a while, and she wanted to move to La Crosse,
Okay.
and had a cousin up there, so I had some influence getting at least the interviews, and got a job with Goodyear. Worked with them as a tech and then service manager for 6 years. And the Schierls decided to go headhunting, and they called up a bunch of different Goodyear managers, and my boss interviewed with the company and chose not to take it and told me about it. So I interviewed, and I was fortunate and got a job with Schierl almost 32 years ago.
Wow, that's great. You guys at Schierl, you guys have such a unique blend of businesses. So, I mean, you've got your 7 locations, but you're also in, because there's Schierl Inc. basically,
Yep.
isn't there?
Yep,
And then
that's
you've got,
corporate.
yeah, and then, weren't you guys in like the heating oil as well?
That's how the business started, was 1956. Butch Schierl bought a home heating oil truck for delivering, and that's when the business started. And
Now,
then
you guys don't have anything to do with that anymore.
nope, we got out of that probably 10 years ago.
Okay. And then, but you have along the way gotten into Subway franchises.
Yep, got, I think it's 35 of them currently.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Central and northern Wisconsin.
And then if I remember something, was there something to do with land development or rental stuff?
Yep, they do a lot of rentals, property rentals, build a suit, things like that.
But these the tire and service stores, they're in central Wisconsin, and you have 7, and then you have one by another name, right?
Yeah. Hartshie Tire. That's a partnership with Connie Hartshie and the Schierl family.
Okay.
And that's started in 2001, I believe. It's been a great partnership.
Do you guys have a goal to grow more stores?
Yeah, we're always looking. It would be acquisition versus ground up.
Yeah.
You want a little business before you open the doors.
Yeah, it's tough to build ground up, and everybody we talk to that has tried it both ways say the same thing, and everybody, you want some revenue coming in.
Gotta have a little cash flow.
Yeah. Well, as team advisor, what do you do at Schierl? What's team advisor role mean?
Work with the locations, oversee, and work with the managers, hiring, coaching, working with locations, setting up policies, maximizing tire programs.
That's awesome. What's your favorite thing about working at Schierl? I mean, in regards to the 7 locations.
The awesome associates we got, being able to work with them, get to know them, and lifelong friendships with many of them.
Do you guys, what's your turnover rate like?
Managers, very, very little. Team, store managers, service managers, technicians is pretty solid. You get into the general service and the cleaners, there's a fair amount of turnover there.
Yeah, which is not unusual. How do you guys, just curious, how do you guys recruit? I mean, I know how you got brought in, but how do you guys do it today?
The typical Indeed is probably our mantra. We do a lot of Facebook advertising. I think that's, between the two of them, that's pretty much what we do.
You know, you've been in the business a long time. The question that comes to mind is, what changes do you think are significant from when you started to today on the tire and automotive repair side?
No, technology is definitely a big factor, but the people coming into the industry. When I went to technical college, there was 4 classes running concurrently, and now some of the colleges have a hard time getting 1 class.
Really?
And,
I mean, I heard it was bad, but that's really bad.
The skills gap is getting worse. Going back to my parents, they were pretty pissed off when I didn't finished college and I decided to go to technical college, and they were dead against that. And then my own kids, one's 33 and one's 27, and going to the guidance counselors with them, it was beyond obvious that they were pushing the kids to go into 4-year traditional college versus a technical school. I think that's changed over the last few years, and I think it's income expense driven, because you can get your 2-year associate and knock out those core classes before you end up either graduating with an associate degree or moving on to your junior and senior level courses in college.
It is fascinating, and I do believe you're right about the. Well, I talk to more so friends, but even acquaintances, people I meet, more dads that are pushing their kids into the technical, because I'm in my 50s and I was probably caught in the same trap you were, where I mean, it was really the only option it seemed like everybody put on the table was college.
Yep. And the pressure from the guidance counselors is you need to go to college.
Yeah. Well, and you almost felt like there was nothing for you if you didn't, and now you can look back in hindsight and go, golly, that was such a limited view.
And when I started, the wages weren't what they are now in comparison to the rest of the workforce. Now, at least you got technicians earning what teachers and doctors make.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, it's market driven, right? I mean, you've got, it's the law of supply and demand. If the demand's out there and the supply is low, it's nothing but price goes up there.
And you got old guys like me that are getting out of the industry, retiring, and
yes,
there's a big gap that's got to be filled.
Huge. And I still worry about it, although I do see more people. I will say this: I see more people in the trades falling into it. I have a son-in-law that's an electrician. He did go to college. He felt a little pressure, I think, to go to college at first. He was in it for 2 years and realized this ain't for me. And then he went to, the process to become an electrician, and then, to get your license and the journeyman and all that. And I think he's very happy. And he's in high demand. And what else is interesting is he's in high demand on the weekends. You get these guys and family members, and friends that say, hey, you think I could get Chris to do this? You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
And so he's got all these side gigs that he could have, but he's obviously trying to raise a family and get sleep too. But anything in the trades, I'm a huge fan for right now.
I think Mike Rowe has really gotten a lot of exposure to the trades and is helping at least promote it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supply and demand, you're 100% right. We're going to pay him. And it's just going to get passed on to the consumer.
I think I had a plumbing job to do at my house not too long ago. And if I wasn't such good friends with my plumber, I doubt I would have gotten the job done within maybe a couple of weeks, because it was a reconstruction deal. It wasn't like, and I only needed him for a few things. It wasn't like intense on the plumbing side. The bathroom was getting redone. But yeah, man, those guys, everybody though, anybody with the trade, automotive in particular. I know shops right now that are just dying to have more help, more mechanics. People that know what they're doing.
Yeah, we're fortunate. We only got a few openings right now, and it's been that way for quite a while, but that can change real quick too.
Oh yeah. And then you just feel like sometimes, I've talked to some of these tire shop owners and shop owners, and, they feel like, I'm being forced to almost, and I feel they feel like they're being forced almost to accept a lower standard of caliber of person they want, but they have to do something to at least fill certain workload, if that makes sense.
It does. And I think we're on the uphill side of that now. We're coming out of that, where you've getting better quality, better work ethic than it was just 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel there's this, like, for instance, I had an electrician when we were getting this bathroom redone. Um, he was contracted in through my contractor, but the kid that he brought with him that was his assistant played football with my son. And I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Getting my electric license, electrician license." And I said, "That's awesome." And I was very proud to see. I didn't know what happened to the kid, you know what I'm saying? But I see him coming in and I'm like, "But this is great," And so he's being an apprentice right now at the time. And it was refreshing to see, some youth that you knew and what course of, direction they were taking.
Yeah. See them grow and develop in their trade. That's really awesome.
Yeah. And based on, look, if you put a little effort in it and you learn it, you're going to make money. There's they need you. The world needs you. If you have a trade, it's a guaranteed at least meal ticket. You're going to feed yourself.
Yep. I agree 100%.
And there's a ton of these college kids that are struggling massively.
Yeah,
I mean, just
one of the local state of Wisconsin universities, it probably goes back 10 years now, got rid of a lot of the majors. And they're the ones they got rid of are the ones that if you can get a job, you're lucky. If you get the job, you're making basically minimum wage. And the uproar of these students was unbelievable. And they ended up bringing these degrees back.
wow.
Where you spend all kinds of money to get the degree and you don't have any job prospects.
And that's the big disconnect, isn't it? I mean, they're selling a product that has no demand.
Exactly. Well, the demand is from the students, but they're not looking forward to, can I actually make money out of this?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're complaining when that happens.
Exactly.
But I think that's a job for guidance counselors at high schools, isn't it? I mean, to look and tell the kids the truth about the marketplace. Like, hey, here's some opportunities, and here's where you really need your full blown academic background, but here's where maybe need some general studies, but where you could go get a trade at the same time. And I don't know if like you said, the pressure you felt about being told to go to college, etc., which is fine if you're meant for it. But if you're not, it shouldn't they be? Because I felt like everybody in our class was told, go to college.
Yep.
And that's not realistic to life. And and what I want my audience to understand is I'm a huge believer in education. I just think it comes in different ways.
Yeah, it never stops.
Yeah.
It's every week you're learning something.
And I think you should be open to reading something new all the time. I mean, a book, getting into a series, whatever it is, but you should always be trying to, absorb new information, especially in your career.
Yeah, and that's changed a lot over the years. The only resource I had way back when was Motor Magazine, and I'd read that every month. But there wasn't many avenues like that. Now you got the internet and all kinds of information at your fingertips. And the guys that are good are teaching themselves. They're taking the initiative to figure out and learn more.
It is interesting. I will say this with the youth today and what they know with like AI, Chat GPT, and Googling something or YouTubing it, the smart ones really know how to teach themselves how to fix something, and they'll go watch a video on it and then they'll go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of really cool to see.
If nothing else, it gives them a little tip of how to make the job quicker and easier.
Yeah. Well, and I think it builds confidence too, doesn't it? Like,
absolutely.
I didn't need technically I needed somebody because I'm watching somebody maybe on YouTube, but I was able to do it myself and figure it out. And then it's kind of like a pat on your own back to say, hey, I didn't even know how to fix that before, but now I do. And I just did it.
Yeah. And that builds confidence for the future. And you're going to take something away from that and learn one little thing. Remember it. And 10 years from now, you're going to use that skill again.
You mentioned technology. Something that we run into in our space is point of sale systems. Do you have one that you recommend out there?
We're currently using Tire Shop by Freedom Soft.
Okay.
Overall, it does a good job. A couple quirks, but you got that no matter what software you got. With being a Goodyear dealer, we're heavily involved with governments, national accounts. So we got to have the software that's able to process that stuff through us more so than like a Mitchell or a Snap-on or those other programs that are out there.
Yeah.
Do a good job with the mechanical side, but not the tire side.
So Freedom Soft does a better job on both sides. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they do a good job.
Or a balance, I guess. Like you said, there's no one perfect fit.
But yeah, you'd love to take pieces from each of them and put it together, but that just doesn't work.
No, it's kind of like you got to, I don't know if this kind of puts a little negative spin on it, but it's kind of like you got to pick your poison. You need it no matter what. So you kind of got to take sometimes lesser two evils, or, figure out what feature you can live without, I guess you'd say. Yeah.
Or how to work around it.
Or how to work around it. That's a good way of saying it. On a more personal level, I mentioned to you, I like to get into these questions too. What's your favorite movie?
Yeah, I thought about that between now and our original call, and it's got to be Christmas Vacation. I am Clark W. Griswold.
So you do the lighting like Clark too?
Not quite to that extent, but at one point we were up to about 10,000 lights.
Gosh, dang.
I wanted to get into hooking up the music, but work family life kind of put the kibosh to that.
That's fantastic though. So how did your house look? Was it mainly in the trees and shrubbery, or was it all over the house?
Some of it was on the house, but yeah, mostly trees and displays and blow-ups and you name it, I probably had it.
So how do your neighbors feel about you?
Nobody complained.
All right.
Yeah, I turn them off before 10 o'clock so they can go to bed.
There are so many, well, around our house, if it's even on the TV, even though I know you can watch it anytime you want, maybe on Prime or Netflix, but it's funny how, you're flipping the channels, and we use YouTube TV, but you'll be flipping the channels, and if it's on, you just can't help but
absolutely.
And I think, it's just one of those movies. Does it ever stop giving you a one-liner?
Oh God, no. I'm giving them all the time.
I think this year, now, every year it seems like I have a new one-liner from the movie. Even though I know them all, it's like it just hits you different each year. But mine this year is the one where it's over. Like everybody's saying, "Hey, it's over. We're leaving." This is before Christmas. Remember? And he blocks them at the front door. He goes, "Oh no, nobody's going anywhere. We're going to be the jolliest, blah blah blah.
Yep.
This side of the nut house." That is literally, that's my favorite line from there this year.
Yeah,
it switches. Year to year, I just pick up a new one that I like or whatever. And it's not that I didn't know it, but it just hits me, but that one's one of my favorite. And then the other one is, I've always liked this one. I guess I have to rank it up there as one of the top in the movie, is when Cousin Eddie puts his arm around him and they just illuminated the house. He just gotten it fixed. She slips the light on out in the garage, the circuit, and then everything's working and they're all happy and proud of the lighting, and Eddie's there.
And he walks down the line of
then he goes,
thanking everybody, and then comes to Cousin Eddie.
Yes. And then he goes, "Are you surprised?" He said, "I wouldn't be a bit more surprised if I woke up with my head sewn to the carpet." It's just one. Part of me believes that had to be ad-libbed. It's such a Chevy Chase line. It was one of those. Maybe it was thrown in the movie or something, but and then even in that same scene, what about, he goes, "I wouldn't kiss him. He's got a lip fungus that they haven't." What's one of your favorite for that movie?
When he's untying the tree, the one that they had to dig up because he forgot the saw, and cuts the rope, and yep, it's full. Little sap.
The window gets broken too.
Yep.
Yes. Well, and the other one I like too is I'm glad you brought this up. I don't think anybody's brought this movie up, but we're right at around Christmas time, so this is perfect. But the other one is the neighbors that were real snooty.
Todd and Margot.
Yes, and he says, "You can't talk to me like that." And he goes, "I wasn't
I was talking to you." Talking to Margot.
And then the scene I caught the other day when it was on TV was when Eddie's out there draining the RV.
Yep.
And
Drinking
the neighbor,
his
and
Lowenbrow.
the neighbors come out and they smell it and they
Shirter's full.
Lowenbrow, that was right. That's what he did. That's it. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's funny stuff. Well, before I let you go, do you have a code or a mantra or anything that you guys live by at Schierl or you personally?
There's a lot of times I say I'd love to, and you may not want to do it, but if you go in with the attitude that, yep, let's do it, let's get her done, it makes it a whole lot easier. And go like this, raise your hand. I just volunteered you, and you get your people going. I'd love to.
That's awesome. I like that line. It's just positive, but it pulls you into the positive by you saying it. Like, just go get it done.
Yeah, there's times like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And you say it like that, and it's like, come on, let's make it a positive.
That's beautiful. That's a great one to end on. Well, Bryan, I really appreciate you saying yes to being our guest on the Gain Traction podcast. It's been a pleasure.
It was an honor, Mike. I thank you very much.
You're welcome. And to all our listeners out there, you can find more out there on our YouTube channel at Gain Traction Podcast. The website's gaintractionpodcast.com. And if you'd like to make a recommendation to me, feel free to do so at mike@treadpartners.com. Till next time, have a great day. To all our listeners, thank you for being part of the Gain Traction Podcast. We are grateful for you. If you'd like to find more podcasts like this, please visit gaintractionpodcast.com. If you'd like to make a guest recommendation, please email me at mike@treadpartners.com. This episode has been powered by Tread Partners, the leader in digital marketing for multi-location tire and auto repair shops. To learn more about Tread Partners, visit treadpartners.com.